What's up, guys? It's LW Autohead with another video today. This video is about tune-up. Tune-up has to be done to your car as part of maintenance. Has to be done at least every 100,000 mileage. Now that depends on how you drive your car, what kind of car you have. It might be shorter or it could be longer, like for Toyotas. And German cars will probably be shorter. You might need to do tune-up maybe less than 100K. And it depends on if whether your car is running right or not, if it has misfire codes or not. So yeah, this video is gonna be about tune-up. I'm showing you guys what it is, what parts that it's involved with tune-up, and you know what does that has to do with the car and stuff. So that basically tune-up involves belts and hoses and oil change. I don't have a video on oil change, but I will have a video later on. I know everybody knows how to do oil change, so that's why I haven't made a video yet about it, but I have made videos about the brake fluid flush and steering fluid flush and coolant flush. So the word tune-up came from back in the day on about cars that used to have carburetors, and they used to have distributor. Those are distributor ignition system or mechanical ignition systems. That's where the word tune-up came from. When people back in the day, old school mechanics used to have to change the rotate the distributor rotor. They had to rotate the rotor on the contact points, and the distributor, the wires had to be changed, the spark plug had to be changed. I never had an old school car, so I don't have that much knowledge on it. I never worked on one. I don't have that much knowledge, but that's what I know, that back the word tune-up came from back in the day on old cars, like cars before 1996. I believe 1996, that's when cars started needing OBD1, I think, or OBD2, I'm not sure. They needed to have sensors that can monitor the catalytic converter, basically. So an OBD, that's when OBD came about. So older cars had carburetors and distributors. Carburetors is where the fuel and air used to mix. The distributor and rotor, that's where the spark plug wires used to go, and the spark plug used to connect into the cylinders. So yeah, that's where the word tune-up came from, and that's what tune-up was back in the day. Basically had to change those wires, rotate the distributor cap, and set the points in the distributor cap. It's all complicated stuff, guys, but it was easy to do. Right now it sounds complicated because right now we have a electronic ignition system, which a lot of people are used to, but back in the day, that's how they did it. And a distributor coil also had a coil. The wire came from the coil and then went to the distributor, and then that's where the spark plugs went into the distributor. On different points of the distributor had contact points, it had magnets and all of that. So that's where the word tune-up came from, And then, of course, now we all know what tune-up is. Spark plugs, spark plug coil, if it has a coil over plug, or spark plug wires, and then oil change and the filters and the hose, check the hose, change the belt if it needs changing and stuff like that. Alright, so the first filter is the engine bay filter, the engine filter. This is my 2001 Volkswagen that I'm showing you guys this on. But yeah, the first filter will be over here. I'm going to open this up and show you guys the filter and how to inspect it and stuff. To remove most of the filters, all you gotta do is use a screwdriver. That's pretty much what you need. And you just take out the screws that you see around it and open it up, and the filter should be in there. I think that's it for this. There's only 2 screws on this one. Some car filter housing has a lot more screws. Some of them have clips that you can just unclip. Like this is the books. This one I just remove the screw, and then it should come out. All right, so I opened it up. It was like this right here, had these two screws. It was clipped in right here. Once you take out these screws, just push it back. You gotta use some of your strength. Push it back and then lift it up. And that's the cars I maintain, guys. So yeah, I don't drive this car, but I do keep it maintained. So it's just been sitting here, as you can see. Well, it's not all that new, but I mean, over time it do get dirty. But yeah, this is it. I might have to change this. See, the top kind of looks like it's not that dirty. That's kind of new, but I don't drive this car, like I said in other videos. So sometime I kind of forget that I have to replace this. I'll probably replace this before I start driving it. But anyway, so what you want to do is take it out, shake it up. You know, it's not a lot of dirt in there. There is some in there, and you just want to inspect it against the sun. Like, you want to basically, this one has these little flips and stuff, flaps, so you can just, you know, check in them like this and see if there's dirt in there. This is not that bad, but check if there's dirt in there and stuff. And then yeah, if there's a lot of dirt, or if like the color changed, if it like looks dirty, you can just replace it. I'll show you guys another filter that I have, but this for the Volkswagen. Put it back. Alright guys, so basically you just want to see again, you just want to check. This is a cabin filter, by the way. You just want to see if you can see light through it. Obviously I see a little bit of light through it. If it's super dirty, you won't be able to see that, and then you have to replace it. If it looks dirty or has a bunch of debris in there, you might have to replace it. So yeah, that's how you inspect the engine filter. Alright guys, so when you have a KN high flow filter, you should get the kit that, you know, allows you to clean the filter. This is recharger kit. You can use this. It comes with 2 bottles of sprays, and what you do is first you spray one, and then first you want to clean the filter. Of course, like I said, you want to shake it and stuff, and then the first one you want to spray it, and then let it sit for a little bit. Well, it has instructions on the bottles that you should follow. And then the other one, I believe after you spray, you want to wash it out. And after you wash it out, then you spray with the different spray. Well, you let it dry first, and then you spray with the final spray, and then put it back in the car. You let it sit again, and then put it back in the car. So this is the recharge kit for the K&N filter. They're more expensive filter, guys. They're more expensive, but at least you won't have to buy another filter if you regularly change your filter. If you change it like at least maybe every year, or every 100,000 K mileage, or maybe less. It depends how much you drive your car too. If you don't drive it that much, you're gonna have to do it less. But yeah, this kit lasts a long time. You can use it on another car that you have and stuff like that. So that's pretty good for a K&N filter. If you invest in that and get a K&N filter, you use this kit for that. All right, so most of the filters is behind the glove compartment in the passenger side of the car. This is the Volkswagen passenger side, so most of the time you got to open it up, and then sometimes it will have screws. The Volkswagen has these 3 screws that has to come out, and it's right behind there, right there. So once I take this off for these 2 screws, it will be behind there. Some cars, it's under the bulk head in the engine bay. Sometimes it's under there. I'll show you guys real quick. Yeah, sometimes it might be hidden somewhere here. I think some BMWs is in the engine compartment. I'm not sure, but you can just look it up, Google it, where your cabin filter is, and it will show you the location. Or you can look in the owner's menu. or a repair menu. If you have a repair menu, they're pretty cheap. You can get Amazon, you can get a harness repair menu off eBay or Amazon for your car. You gotta type in the year and stuff, and the model, and the trim. Just make sure it's for your car. So we're gonna take these off real quick with this power ratchet. Oh, by the way, if you're working on a Volkswagen and the tools you need to have a Volkswagen, you're gonna do work on your Volkswagen yourself, you need start point bits. This is a start point bit right here, and then you're gonna need the hex bits, because most of the Volkswagen bolts are either hex bits or start point bits. All right, I don't know why they do that, but the Volkswagen, the German cars like Audis and Mercedes, most of them use bolt stars. All right, guys. So I was going to take out these bolts and take out this glove compartment to get to the cabin filter, but the cabin filter is actually not located here. It's located, like I said, sometime they're in the engine bay, so it's located right there. So I'm just putting this back together. So yeah, it helps to look up where your cabin filter is for whatever car you have. Even if it's an American car, just look it up. And like I said, most of the time it's behind the glove compartment, but you never know. If you do have a repair menu, it'll be a lot easier. It will let you know. Just read the repair menu, let you know where it's at. I just thought it was behind here because most of the cars that I've done it, I thought I did it on this Volkswagen, but I guess I never did it on this. But yeah, I had to look it up, so it's right there. I'm just gonna put this screw back in there, and then yeah, that's gonna be it. But yeah, so that's part of the tune-up. It's making sure you change the filters, the engine filter and the cabin filter. Making sure you change those. Yeah, so that's it. So close this up and show you guys. All right, right here in the engine bay, right here on the passenger side, right behind this panel right here. So you just need a screwdriver for this one, obviously. One that has these screws, obviously. You just take these out and should be right behind it. Alright guys, so I took it out. Yeah, you just gotta funnel around with this piece right here. The piece goes in just like this. It goes in just like this, and then like that. Yeah, so it goes in this. So once you take out these 3 bolts, you want to grab it over here and then lift it up and then pull it out and stuff. Yeah, working on the Volkswagen, sometimes you do end up breaking parts because the way they put things together is all complicated. And then the filter is right there. It's right in here. The filter has this little piece around it. I just took out the piece, but I think you might need to I don't think you need to take out the piece around it. So you just want to grab the filter, and then the piece is coming out with it too. So this is the piece that goes around it. Yeah, I took it out, but maybe you don't, maybe you do, I'm not sure. So right there, this is the filter. They shoved it right, the Volkswagen manufacturers shoved it right underneath there, right? So like I said, it would be a lot easier if it was behind the glove compartment. Yeah, so once you get it, you just want to shake it out. You know, look in between here and make sure there's not too much debris, too much dirt in there. This one looks kind of good. The one at the top that had some dirt on there, and I think that's just from being sat for so long, for it, underneath the tree over there. That tree, last summer it was there, so, and fall, so some of the leaves got in here. But this is not that bad, you know. It's just, you can still use this. You want to change it when it's super dirty, but this is part of the tune-up. Alright, I'm just gonna put it back now. So that's what you gotta do when you're tuning up, or make sure that the shop does it. You know, you want to check these and make sure the shop did it. You could do it yourself, it's pretty easy. Put this back, and then so the other part of the tune-up is checking the hoses, making sure the hoses are good, making sure the belt, the accessory belt right here is good. It doesn't have rip in there or like kinks in there, like it doesn't look like it's bad and stuff like that. On this Volkswagen only has one belt. Some cars they have two belt. My Ford over there has two belt. There's one belt that runs on the AC compressor and the crank pulley. The crank pulley is all the way down here, the biggest pulley on the car accessory. So right down there. So it has a belt that runs from the AC compressor and the crank pulley. It's a little belt, and it has another belt. It's two belt that runs from the alternator to the tensioner pulley. Is the tensioner pulley or the idler pulley, and then it runs off the alternator, the tensioner pulley. So I'm gonna go over there and show you guys real quick. All right. Also the water pump. So yeah, so it has a belt that runs. You can't really see because of the spacing, but that's the water pump you're looking at right there. This is the tensioner pulley, and then back here is the alternator. It's all the way down there. The alternator's all the way down there somewhere. Basically, yeah, it's down there. That's it right there. Yeah, so that's two belts, three accessories for the first belt. Well, not three accessories, but the tensioner and the water pump and the alternator has one belt, and then the other belt is the crank pulley and the AC compressor. Alright, so that's it. I'll show you guys. So another part of the tune-up, you gotta change the spark plugs. This is coil over plug, electronic ignition system. Coil over plug. It's a lot easier and it's hard to mess up. This is a 4-cylinder, so of course it has 1, 2, 3, 4 spark plugs. Of course the firing order is not the same. Firing order is basically what order that the engine light up the spark plugs, the fuel and the air, what order the spark plug light those up. You know, the order is different, so you can Google it or look up in your car's menu about it, basically. So you gotta take out these coils, unplug this, of course. Comes out easy. Take this out, the spark plug is in there. So yeah, just like this. Take it out real quick. I'm not gonna take it out, guys, but the spark plug is in. I'm just gonna show you guys what you gotta do. Just unplug this, take out the coil, and the spark plug is right in there. So that's where the spark plug is. Mine is good. I changed it, I think, not too long ago, but you want to change it at least 100,000 k mileage. When they have 100,000 k mileage, this car has 111 k mileage, 111,000 mileage on there. I changed it when it had 100,000 mileage. Or when you get when you get a used car, when you buy a used car, you just want to ask whoever was selling it, ask them if they ever changed it. Also the engine oil, ask them about the engine oil, ask them about the transmission fluid, whether they changed it or not. Those are the the main things: the oil, the engine oil, and the transmission fluid. Very, very important. Make sure whenever you buy a car, make sure you ask about that. All right, whether the person changed those, because that depends on how long the car is going to last you or not. If you buy a used car, if you buy a new car, you might not need to worry about that. But yeah, so the spark plug is down there. You're gonna need a spark plug remover tool to remove the spark plug, or sometimes you can just use whatever size the spark plug remover is. I know for this one it's a 16 millimeter. You can use a 16 millimeter deep socket to remove it. Just shove it in there and, you know, reverse removal, remove it out. So yeah, the best thing about this car is that it doesn't have a power steering reservoir. It has an electronic power steering, so that's why on my other video I did it on a different car. I didn't do it on this 2014 Ford Focus hatchback car. It has a electronic power steering. Yeah, that's a whole nother video on how to service that. You probably don't even need to service that. I never worked on them before, but I will teach myself later on how to work on them. But yeah, it's better, you know. You don't have to deal with it. You don't have to deal with flushing it or you know, trying to keep it replaced and stuff like that. All right guys, so back over here, that my Ford Focus had the coil overplug ignition. This one has a coil pack and wires. All right, so this car, this is the Volkswagen, has the coil and wires. Basically with this one, all I did was take out this manifold, then I used the wire puller tool right here. It's just like this. I need to use that, pull the boots out or off the spark plugs, and then you want to use this spark plug remover tool. Like I said, this is a 16 millimeter right there, 16 millimeter. It usually has a magnet in there that once you loosen up the spark plugs, the magnet just keeps hold of the spark plugs and you can pull it out that way. Let's say if you don't have this tool, if you don't have a spark plug remover socket tool, you can also you can use a regular deep socket, and then you can use a magnet to remove it, you know. So after you loosen it up with the deep socket, you want to just use the magnet, shove it in there and pull it out. So tune up the wires, you might want to change the wires. Most of the time you don't need to change the wires, you just change the spark plugs. Most of the time the wires last longer. Spark plugs do last longer, especially platinum spark plugs. They are just better material, so and they last longer. So those, like I said, 100k mileage. Most of the time people don't change them unless there's a misfire in the cylinder, and then when it's a misfire, you have to use a scan tool to find out whether it's multiple misfires or it's like a certain cylinder, whether it's cylinder 1 or cylinder 2 or cylinder 3. So basically that's what you have to do, and from there you can change those spark plugs, or you can just change the whole, you know, all the cylinders. This car is of course another 2-liter. This cars are a V6. They have 6 spark plugs, so you have to change 6 cylinders, 6 spark plugs, and I have to change all 6 of them. If it says it's multiple spark, if it doesn't tell you what cylinder the spark plug is in when you use your scan tool, that's what you're gonna have to do. But so yeah guys, that's pretty much it for the tune-up. So make sure when you take it to a shop, you you know, make sure they change the spark plugs, they change the filters. You know, they might not do the coolant flush, I'm telling you now. Even though it is part of what a tune-up is, most shops don't do coolant flush unless you tell them. They don't do power steering flush unless you tell them. They don't even change your belt, your accessory belt, unless you tell them. So that might not be something that they would do, but just make sure to change the spark plugs and the wires, and the misfire goes away. Misfire, of course, makes your car shake, and it's not pleasant. Of course, you check the hoses, make sure they're good, they're not leaking or anything like that. You start the car. So yeah, that's part of your yearly maintenance, guys. And that's it, guys. So thanks for watching, and just comment, subscribe, like, and just happy 4th of July to all of you guys out there. Thanks for watching. There will be more videos coming out. Just look out for that. But yeah, that's pretty much all it is to a tune-up. Yeah, so that's it. Have a good day, guys. Take care. You know what to do. LW Auto Head out.